Hi there, I'm playing with junk again. This time a short video about a small device. I found this in our recycling bin, and on first sight I thought it's some kind of toy, maybe some remote control thing for any child's toy or something. There is a AAA battery. By the way, the original battery has leaked quite badly, so it's not working anymore. So I thought, what could that be? And yeah, maybe you write it in the comments right now if you have an idea what it could be. In the meantime, I found out what it is, and well, I will explain you what it is. But I still need your help because I don't know where exactly it belongs to. And if someone of you has already seen one of these things, please tell me where it actually comes from. So, okay, it has two screws here and here. They are already removed. So we open the case. It's just a two-part case. That's the button, the contact for the battery. We don't need that at the moment. And we see there is a PCB with quite some chips on it. I cleaned it a little bit because it was all full of battery acid. You can still see it here. There's some oxidation, some copper compound, probably copper sulfate from the color. We see Dynastream Inc, copyright 2004, may not be the newest invention. We have a US patent number, and there is some name of this module, but believe me, you can't find anything about that. Interesting, we have two small chips here and here. That's accelerometer chips. They measure how this thing moves around. They have two of them. Both are looking in the same direction. They are soldered in the same orientation. We have a large chip here. Didn't find much about this one. And we do have a button here. Tiny little button and an LED next to it here. And it seems we have some, well, high frequency transmitter stuff, because this thing here that looks like a battery, but it's a how do you say, a ferrite core antenna. It has 3 wires. One just broke off right now. That's probably the center wire. Then we have a long coil in this direction and maybe a shorter coil here. The whole thing is embedded in some rubber-like material. Maybe we should open that up. I hope I don't cut in my finger. Oh yeah, I can feel the wires underneath. So it did cut pretty easily, but it also quite sticky. Come on. So it It looks like we have one large coil, probably with a center tap. Yeah, you can see the ferrite core here. Yeah, so there is the short part of the coil, there's the long part of the coil, that's the center tap here, two wires twisted together. That means it measures acceleration, most likely because they have two of these chips, and they transmit it through this antenna. And that means it's not Bluetooth and it's not WLAN or something like that, because these ferrite core antennas, they are good for maybe 2, maybe 3 megahertz, but that's it. So it's lower frequency in the kilohertz range somehow, somewhere. Yeah, what could it be? I think we first check the chips and then we go for this patent number here. That should give us a clue. First of all, I searched for this Dynastream Inc. and what I found is Dynastream Innovations, a company that manufactures small wireless modules of all sorts. You can see them here, that's their product range. You also see a lot of these modules are already end of life, but some are also active, so they are in the business, and it seems they made this thing that I have here for a customer, maybe. The next thing is this chip from Analog Device. It's a ADXL321. The chip marking is only XL321. And it's a 2-axis accelerometer. You can see in the block diagram it's a purely analog device. That's why it is from Analog Device. It has an output for the x-axis and one for the y-axis, and depending on the orientation and the acceleration of the chip, voltages come out to these two outputs between maximum 1.5 volts and I think 0 volts. The big CPU chip in the center of the board is from Texas Instruments. It's a MSP 430F14 or 13. It's a microcontroller that has analog digital converters built in. It has a lot of I/O ports, which you can see in this picture here. You see a lot of I/O ports. It has flash memory, it has RAM, it has the analog to digital converter, 12-bit, 8 channels. That's not bad. Yes, this thing can handle everything, and also the outputs from the accelerometers, and then put the data to the transmitter, and that's the job of this CPU. Okay, it's now time to reveal the secret. There is the US patent number 5955667 from September 1999, and the whole thing is made for a shoe. It's an attachment to, I don't know, a jogging shoe or something like that, and it measures the way you walk. This is another illustration from this patent, and it's a depiction of a leg that is walking. You see here it steps on the ground, then it lifts the foot, steps on the ground, lifts the foot. And what I'm interested to know is what manufacturer of shoes, is it Nike, is it Adidas, is it whoever made this? So it must be, or it must have been in a commercial product because it landed in our recycling bin. So I assume someone bought shoes that had this thing built in, and for some, well, because the battery spilled, it didn't work anymore. And what I also like to know is what kind of receiving device do you have? So it must be a custom-made thing with a display, or maybe a smartwatch, or what is it? If someone has ever seen that before, please let me know. Thanks for watching.